think one of the biggest problems that most, I'd say, young people face as far as their mental health is ignoring the 1%. And when I say that, it's a very hyper specific sort of thing that you'll either get or you don't. And even if you don't, I'm going to try to make it as simple as possible here. But for a general metaphor of life, I'd say that the people who can be closest to you know about 99% usually of what you like, who you know, the kind of person you are, what you've maybe been through. The absolute closest people to you. But inside of all of us, there is that 1%. Now, how do you define the 1%? I define the 1% as secrets that you would only keep to yourself and yourself only, no matter how much you trust people, no matter how many walls you've broken down, no matter how much you've sat with yourself and accepted the fact that you can share with others, there's going to be a level of hesitancy you have with certain aspects of your life, with certain struggles, with certain addictions, with certain coping mechanisms, with certain toxic habits. You're going to hold back speaking about them to those that you care about. I like to call that the 1%. And even if anybody else around you knows the 99%, it is that 1% that makes such a difference. Because what we hold with ourselves deep down, that marks who we truly are, can sometimes really weigh on us more than that 99. I'll give an example, per se. Let's say a friend you know had an addiction of sorts. Maybe it's certain substances they shouldn't be taking, certain drinks they shouldn't be drinking, certain actions they shouldn't be partaking in, showing a more promiscuous side of themselves, we'll call it that. And they engage in that constantly, but tell nobody. You know a good bit of them, you know that they've struggled sometimes with certain aspects of their life, but that specific thing, nobody else knows. And one day, your friend, in this instance, decides to maybe no longer be with us, per se. You know, the aspect of unaliving yourself. It's in that 1% that somebody can sit with something so heavy that it's hard to let go of. And we all have a 1%, whether we want to admit it or not. Because tell me, you have something that you wouldn't tell anybody else that you're fighting. And you keep it with you. What do you do with it? Do you take it out on those around you with unrelated acts of rage or emotion? Do you let it sit inside of you to beat yourself up on the inside, to diminish your self-worth, your confidence, your value? Or do you take it and generate the energy you would put into it into things that can be seen as markers of tangible progress? For any one of the three you happen to pick, just know that those first two are not that preferable, and also that third one is a very hard journey. It's hard to take that 1% of what's inside of you and build it out towards something new, something more creative, something rewarding. I know I struggle with it because the 1% of what I truthfully hold with me, which I may talk about here another time, I try to pour into this channel. I try to make known that there's lessons to be learned. There's lessons I can share, that through my own life experience, I can help others. And I think it's with that innate skill that you all can serve to do something. Whether it be creating music or learning more about video games or technology or drama or theater or the arts, anything. Take that 1% of what sits inside of you and pour it out into the world, into other people, into new experiences. And nobody said it'll be easy. You may even sometimes relapse if it is an addiction. You may even sometimes have a pit of hard times if it is your mental health or depression or anxiety. You may even find yourself at times struggling to conceptualize the idea of growth, of where do you go from here. But I believe it's all in the fact that you're willing to try that matters. Willing to put in a consistent effort every day to pour your energy into something meaningful, something towards you, maybe even something bigger than you. Because that's what matters above all else. Knowing that you're putting that energy into good things. So, yeah. A little bit shorter than normal, but always keep that 1% in mind. As for what you can do as far as tangible actions, don't be afraid to check up on others. If they're willing to share the 1% with you, wonderful. If they just need to share something with you, that's better than if they share nothing at all. Because sometimes it's that 1% where we can really save a life. Save somebody's soul, their mind, their spirit. And for the inverse, don't be afraid to seek help if you need it. Me, I've been in therapy quite literally since the start of my time here in university, and it's been definitely one of the best decisions I've made. In addition to journaling, working out consistently, starting this channel, finding numerous outlets to where you just pour into not only yourself but to others. But don't be afraid to ask for help or seek resources to find help, because that's especially a big thing, I would say. So yeah, keep the 1% in mind. That's about it. And if you're watching this, I love you.